Hello everyone, welcome to my project proposal for FTAlliance Residency competition. I am FTAlliance, studying at University of Boras on Master's Program Textile Value Chain Management, and I'll be working on traceability and approach towards circular business model in textile and fashion industry. According to the European Union, all textiles are need to be separated from household waste by January 2025. According to the European Union hierarchy, waste should first be prevented, then reused, and thirdly, recycled. This means that solutions for sorting and managing collective textiles and textile waste must also be available. It is therefore encouraging that the development of digital solutions is progressing at a rapid pace, and the industry has recognized the importance of traceability. Let me start with a question. What is the common in between these brands? Well, okay, some of you will say they are all mainstream large retailers. Some of them are very athletic oriented, and some of them are true leaders for sustainability. But the common between them is like traceability paradox, which is the key challenge in circular business model. We can see the majority of top 100 brands have already announced that they have targeted the 100% sustainable fibers by the next 3 years. But if we ask what percentage of these brands can actually track the garment collection back to the fiber origin, then we can see that less than 5% of top brands can actually identify this. And here is the fundamental disconnect that we see into the market, and this is because of the lack of systems, lack of processes and technologies. And this traceability paradox is the challenge that I want to address. And some of the brands have already addressed this challenge and then they started digital traceability like using blockchain. Here comes the next question. If they don't know the origin of their material, how can they ensure that the recycled plastic used in the sustainable clothing does not come from any other factories which produce plastic bottles exclusively to recycle them? And how can they ensure that the promises they made to the consumer are kept? These are the examples of the real life situations, and that's why I think there is a need to establish overall transparency and visibility of how the industry works. There are different types of models and several types of tracers are available into the market. Some of them are embedded into the product like DNA, dyes, and particle markers. Some of them are supplied onto the product like RFID, barcodes, NFC. And then we have off-product identification like certificates and digital traceability like blockchain. In this project, I will be identifying the processes, the actors, risks, and identifying the data and information exchanges that will be required for traceability and transparency in the circular business model. Therefore, the purpose of this project is twofold. First, to identify the gaps within the field of study to understand how the fashion brands can improve the existing state of traceability that will eventually lead them towards a circular business model. And second, to identify factors influencing traceability implementation and cluster essential traceability related information that demands recording and sharing within the business and customers in the context of circular business model. The project has been designed to be conducted on a qualitative method through semi-structured interviews among the fashion brands. Data sources will be triangulated by employing the case company questionnaires and interviews, stakeholder interviews, and document analysis of their sustainability reports from fashion brands those who are using the circular business models. As the research methodology is qualitative, the sample design for this study will be non-probability. The study will be employed by a purposive sampling strategy since all the participants need to be fit with a specific criteria that are required to fulfill our dream. And finally, this study will not only help them to minimize the existing disconnect between the consumers and manufacturers, but also lead them towards a circular business model. Thank you all for listening.